Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing the Cozy autumn tag and the fall into fall book tag. There's two book tags. I've been tagged in two things, very similar prompts, so I decided to amalgamate and we're doing two tags in one. So Cerys over at Library of Cerys tagged me in the fall book tag, and Kat at KD Reads tagged me in the Cozy autumn book tag. And I decided that because I haven't done tags in forever and I've been tagged in loads of videos recently, I need to get on that. And because time is of the essence, I decided to put these two together. It just made sense to me. So if you've been tagged in one, you'll recognise the prompt, but you may not recognise the others, and vice versa. So I have tagged a whole bunch of people at the bottom, so if you've clicked on it because you've been tagged, but you've already done half of this tag, there is another half of the tag that you may not have seen before, so give that a go. I think I've covered everything. Two tags, two sets of prompts, one me. I think we have everything we need. So I'm going to flip between the two so that you get, like I said, to get a mix of different tags, but I will put the two tags separately at the bottom so that you know which prompts they were for which. So the first for the fall book tag is, in the fall the air is crisp and clear. What is a book that has a very vivid setting? And I wanted to pick The Lies of Loch Lamora by Scott Lynch. Now I recently recommended this, I recommend this all the goddamn time, but I recently recommended this to my friend Sian, and having previously recommended her Nevernight and her not really enjoying Nevernight, I was really worried that she was going to hate this, but she described this as the book that Nevernight wishes it were. And that made me really happy because this is one of my favourite books of all time. It is set in an alternate Venice, so it has a very specific setting. It is very vivid, you can completely imagine it, but it's not so dense that you're bogged down in setting description either. I wanted to pick a fantasy for the setting description because it's so easy to rely on in a setting that's contemporary because we recognise it. So if it's a book that's in a place that we don't recognise, I think that is trickier, and Scott Lynch absolutely nails it. One day we'll have a tag where I don't put this book in it, but it is not today. The first prompt for the Cozy Reads book tag is, what is a book that reminds you of fall and or autumn? And I have gone for The Sawkill Girls by Claire Legrand. Now I loved this story, but what really reminds me of fall and autumn is they're on this really isolated island. There's a lot of woodland description, it's windy, it's cold, it's got mist and spooky vibes and thrillery vibes, and it just screams autumn to me. I just thought it was really well done, but it just has that autumnal vibe. So number two for the full book tag is, nature is beautiful but it's dying. Name a beautifully written book which deals with a heavy topic. And I want to recommend The Book Thief. Now I only gave this 4 stars I think in the end. I think maybe 3 or 4, I can't remember. But obviously it's looking at the Holocaust and it's looking at death and trauma, but in a very beautifully written and for YA kind of way. And I just think if you can take a subject that is that horrific, something so dark as the Holocaust, with these little moments of hope, like that's a really, really powerful thing. It's dealing with a very, very heavy topic that we still need to discuss because neo-Nazis are a thing. And yeah, I just thought it was spectacularly done. So that's the pick that I've gone for that one. Number 2 for the Cozy book tag is, what is your favourite autumnal cover? Now I bought this less than a week ago and I'm so glad that I did so that I could include it in this video. I can speak English. I'm so glad that I did so I could include it in this video because I think this is the most stunning cover I have ever seen. The colours are spot on, it's got shiny elements to it, it has the right kind of it's the right palette for autumn, it just screams autumn to me and I love it and I cannot wait to read it. It also has sprayed edges which are just absolutely to die for. Love that. Number 3 for the full book tag is, name a book that taught you something, and I'm going with Superior by Angela Saini. If you watched my wrap up from October, you know that I absolutely gushed about this book. I think it's fantastic, but it taught me so much about where our understanding of racism comes from and the kind of the science behind it and the flaws in that science, etc. So I thought it was fantastic and I would definitely recommend it to everyone. Absolutely everyone needs to read this. It's not too difficult to comprehend. The audiobook is read by Angela Saini, so you get the inflection from her about the really poignant bits. Definitely 10 out of 10. So for the Cozy book tag, number 3 is your favourite autumnal drink. I drink a lot of hot chocolate. The moment summer is over, I am back on hot chocolate, and there is a Belgian chocolate place in Maidstone that I do not get to visit enough, and they do like a proper, it's a coffee shop, but they do a proper Belgian hot chocolate that is just absolutely delicious. I am a fan of the syrups. I tend to go for like the orange syrups over the minty ones. I like a minty one, but I prefer the orange ones. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't tend to drink any of the spiced lattes or anything like that. I just find it too bitter. But I drink a lot of tea anyway, so hot chocolate is that thing that I treat myself to when autumn rocks up, because it just has those cozy vibes. You can't fault it, it's the perfect drink, honestly. Number 4 for the full book tag is autumn is a time to keep warm with people you love. What is a fictional family you would like to move in with? Now, I took a lot of time thinking about this because Cerys made a really good point, which is that our first instincts for both her and I was to think of like a Harry Potter family. Like, I would happily have the Weasleys just rock up and adopt me. Having said that, I'm not having a Harry Potter book on my channel. As much as it was like a massive part of my childhood, there are other families. I can think of other families. And then I realised that I read a lot of really dark or fantasy based stories, and in the fantasy based ones they're usually orphans, and in the thriller and gothic-y ones their families are awful. So I don't want to live with either of those people. So trying to find a fictional family that kind of resembled my family was really difficult. And I mentioned this to my dad, and I was like, I need a fictional family that I wouldn't mind living with. And he was like, oh, you read Adrian Mole? And I was like, you're right, I have read Adrian Mole. Adrian Mole, especially Adrian Mole 13 and 3/4, is the typical teenage angsty little boy. Nothing's going right, but his family are so normal because he's such a little drama queen that I was like, yeah, I could totally live with this family, because it would just be like living with my family. The reason Adrian Mole did so well is because it really just taps into that's how we all live. So I was like, there you go, sorted. I don't have to worry about being an orphan, and I don't have to worry about, you know, helping my brothers bury a body. For the cozy book tag, the fourth prompt is, do you prefer to read late at night or early in the morning? And I far and away prefer reading at night. Reading is one of the few things that settles my brain, so I spend all day thinking about my business and thinking about my books and thinking about my friends and thinking about work and bills and adult things. I spend an hour and a half of the day thinking about what oven I wanted in this flat that I don't yet own. I'll put the link below if you're interested. So reading for me is one of the few times where I actually get to switch off my brain. It's why I like audiobooks so much, because I just feel like I'm being read to, and my brain just goes back to that lizard brain moment of, this is really soothing, just read to me and I can fall asleep. Like, it's just perfect. The only problem with that is, if I really like a book, I will just dig in, and that's it. We're staying until 3 in the morning, and I am not someone who can get up in the morning having stayed up late. It just doesn't work for me. So I prefer reading at night. I can't be trusted, but I prefer reading at night. So the full one for prompt 5 is to find some spines that have those autumnal colours. I decided that I wasn't going to do too many, but I was just going to show you a variety of yellows to dark browns, because I think those are definitely autumnal vibes. I wanted to have like a really bright green one on top, but I don't own a lot of books that have green spines. But I like the fact that it kind of transferred from the yellow all the way to the dark brown. And something I have noticed from other people that have done this is they haven't actually included the once it's totally dead and squished in the ground brown, which I have done. So there you go, those are my autumnal vibes. I love those colours so much. Like, on their own they're a bit meh, but together they're just yum. Number 5 for the cozy book tag is, what is your favourite spooky read? Now, I only finished this the other day, but I would definitely recommend Anya's Ghost as a spooky read. What I like about this is, even if you're not a massive fan of spooky reads, although it is spooky because it's a graphic novel, it's very accessible, it's very short, but it's very clever in the way that it's structured. The characters are fantastic, the artwork is stunning, and it just works. It just works for me as a spooky read. What I have learned is that the shorter the spooky read, the better for me, because I just need to be kind of in and out, spooked enough. Like, the slow burn tense doesn't really work for me unless it has those additional gothic vibes. I guess I'm just a picky bitch, but I really enjoyed this, and I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for a spooky read. Number 6 for the fall book tag is that fall is the perfect time for reading by the fireside. Recommend a book that the main character is telling a story, and I have gone with the Furies. Now this is told from a semi-unreliable narrator's perspective, but she is telling you the story of how her and her friends did some really awful things, and I just loved it. I loved the pacing of this. I loved how horrible all the characters were. I loved the aesthetic of it being at a private school. I just thought it was really, really clever, and Katie Lowe can do no wrong in my eyes. For the cozy book tag, the 6th prompt is what is your ultimate comfort read, and I would definitely recommend Meg Cabot. Now I've just picked up the first in her Mediator series because I'm currently on the 5th out of 6 books of the Mediator series, because I will be doing a reread. I thought, because I there were a few times when I've like reread books and I was like, this just isn't as good as I remember, but Meg Cabot just is perfect. I love her style of writing. I love that she has 62 books, because it means that I don't have to reread the same book every now and then when I need that comfort read. She has such a wide variety. Like, this has some fantasy in it. It's got ghosts and vampires and other crazy stuff in it, which is fantastic. Whereas you've got her straight contemporaries and her romances. I like the voice of her characters. She's done murder mysteries. There's a little bit of everything. So whatever I'm in the mood for, Meg Cabot has got my back, and I love her for that. So number 7 for the full book tag is name a dark read, and I have gone with My Sister the Serial Killer. This is really dark. This is really dark. It's so good though. It's so cleverly paced. Yes, there are a couple of other prompts where I probably could have fit this in there instead, but it's so good. And considering, like, I know that a lot of horror, or certainly the horror that I've read, I don't want to say all of the horror, but a lot of the horror that I've read really relies on it being in cold and misty places. But this is a short read with a lot of suspense, and really shows that the setting doesn't really matter so long as your characters are fucking evil. So this is excellent. I love this. For the cozy book tag, the number 7 is your favourite autumnal snack. I mean, I bloody just love to eat. I don't know if I have any snacks that I just eat in autumn. I tried a toffee apple the other day, which used to be obviously an absolute staple as a child, and it really hurt my teeth. And then I was like, okay, well maybe I'll have a chocolate one, and that was just gross. So the snacks that I used to eat when we went to like bonfire nights and Halloween parties and stuff like that just don't do it for me anymore. I do make a really nice small biscuit type thing, which has basically cookie dough, then the fluff marshmallow spread, and then more cookie dough on top, and that is absolutely delicious. But it is also diabetes, just in a biscuit form. So I don't really like, I mean, I've got such a sweet tooth anyway that I don't even know if there are any savoury snacks. I know that the classic hot dog really reminds me of bonfire night, because it's pretty much the only time of the year that I have them. I know that for most people they're a summer thing because you have them at barbecues and stuff, but a hot dog for me is bonfire night. Dunkin' Donuts. I'm just thinking about snacks, not necessarily reading snacks. Biscuit selection boxes, Jaffa cakes. Oh, this is a bad idea, because I'm a size 20. Like, there's a reason I'm a size 20. I eat all the time, constantly. I tell you what is my favourite snack, but it is so pretentious. I really like a brie and cranberry bacon sandwich, but I also really enjoy blue cheese and mango chutney on toast. That's probably my favourite reading snack, because it's in your hand, so it's easy. So you've got one hand on the book, one hand on the toast. The only downside is when you get crumbs in your bed, so, but yeah, I'd go with that. I've spent longer talking about snacks than I have about any of the individual books, and I think that says a lot about me. So for the full book tag, number 8 is The Days Are Getting Colder. Name a heartwarming short read to warm you up. So I have gone with Clap When You Land. Now, although it is, book-sized, I guess, because it's written in prose, you read through it very, very quickly, because it's essentially just a lot of poetry. But this is a really heartwarming story. It is sad, but it has this really poignant ending that just kind of brings it all together, and it's all about family and culture and understanding who you are and not basing it on the people that you know and love. So I found this really, really heartwarming. I really, really enjoyed reading this, and I would definitely recommend it as a heartwarming story. Number 8 for the autumn book tag is what is your favourite autumn scented candle. I generally burn white gardenia. That is the smell that I like to fill my room with. I literally will just go into TK Maxx and just collect all of them. Having said that, there are 2 by Grace and Honey that I'm absolutely obsessed with. So the first one is Make Me Your Villain, which is Becca's liquid gold one, which I just absolutely, I mean, it just smells like every emo boy I was ever in love with. Love that one. And then the other one is True Dark, which is the floral citrus orange blossom. I have a few more coming soon, and I had a really fun exchange with Becca where she asked which ones would we like which candle scents would she like us to bring back, and turns out she had it on private. So the moment she took it off private, I ordered one. I haven't burnt it because I don't want to run out, so I'm hoping that if I have a second one I can finally burn this one. I think this one is now nearly a year old. I think I ordered this last November. Still smells good though. Those are the two that I would highly recommend. I really enjoy those two. And of course they're both the dark emo colours because she's an emo girl at heart. So number 9 for the full book tag is a book that you plan on rereading. It happens every year, so you're looking forward to enjoying this next year. I have just finished Queen of Nothing and I already know I'm going to restart this series. I need it in my life. I need more of this. I know there are loads of YA fantasies out there that have really great character development and really interesting plot devices, but this is just action-packed from start to finish. I love the banter between the characters. They're all horrible and I love them. They're my babies and I love them. So yeah, I'll be rereading this probably over Christmas. Oh, I might read all 3 again. I know I've already read them this year. I can't wait. Can I wait? I've got other books. I really want to reread you. No, I'll wait. Maybe. We'll see. For the cozy book tag, the 9th prompt is things you like to do in autumn that isn't reading, and that was tricky for me because I really like to read. There is one thing that I think might be conversation worthy. I live right by the sea, so summertime everyone's about and it's really hot and really gross and everyone goes to the sea to cool off, and I don't think I've been to the beach. I've been to the beach once since April. For me, I love going to the beach in autumn because it's windy, the sea's really choppy. It's just perfect because it's really serene and there is no one around, so you get to just enjoy those beach vibes by yourself. Number 10 for the full book tag is your cozy accessories. So I have obviously my candles, which I've already mentioned. I have this little travel cup that I really like to take if I'm going to the beach or if I'm going to the park to read, so I get to enjoy those autumn vibes outside. It says wake me up. It's just really lightweight and cheap and it's dishwasher safe. I've also recently bought myself this fox mug, which I think is absolutely stunning, and it is big enough to put several things into it. Like it's huge, but I mean, it's perfect for massive hot chocolates and soup, so I love that. But the one thing that I don't think anyone else has this, and I'll be really surprised if they do. A couple of years ago, my dad bought me... I'm just going to put it on and then you'll know. It's a slanket, but it's a Jedi slanket apparently, with this little hood. And it is genuinely the coziest thing ever. We've got quite an old house and I don't have a radiator. I only have an electric radiator, so this keeps me very... I don't need a jumper. I'm going to get very hot in this very quickly, but... This slanket, my little mug and my little books, and I'm a very happy bean. For the cozy book tag, I'm leaving this on. For the cozy book tag, the 10th prompt is what is on your autumn fall reading list. Now, like I said last week, I posted my TBR, so feel free to check that out. But Never Tell is the one that I'm most anticipated for. It's been on my TBR for a while. It has wintry Russian themes and I'm really excited for it. So that's that one. And then obviously the final tag in both of them is to tag people who haven't yet done this tag. Now, like I said, there's 2 tags in here, so you don't have to do both. I just chose to do both because I'm trying to save time. But the 5 people that I want to tag in this is I want to tag Kat and Cerys to do the other tag because you've already done one. I want to tag Tish because she loves a tag. Donna because I think she loves a tag too and I haven't seen content from her in a while and I miss her, and Shanice because she does great videos. There you go, I think that's enough people tagged. I hope you have a fun autumnal time and I'll see you next week. Have a nice day.